Alrighty guys, what is up? Welcome back to Cookie Clicker with Lone Debater 7, playing the Steam version of the game. We've got frozen cookies loaded in. It is a mod you can get off the Steam Workshop. I looked into doing it on the browser, couldn't really figure it out. But anyway guys, today's episode is going to focus on doing the first Ascension. As you can see, we're in the quintillions of cookies now in our bank. We make quadrillions per second. We also have 1,859 legacy levels, which is a lot more than what we realistically needed for this first Ascension. But by building up this amount prior to doing our first legacy, we will be able to purchase everything that we would want on the first Ascension, which I'll notate specifically out of this legacy level, and that's going to be the primary focus of the episode. And then I'll also point out what you would get if you have the 1,859 total legacy levels, because those do carry over. Like if you do not spend all of your heavenly chips you get when you go prestige through the legacy up there, you can go ahead and basically save them for the next time you do the legacy and prestige. I'm just waiting a little bit. I want to let this golden cookie bonus go off and kind of round out some of our building counts, because if we do that, we can bank up more achievements, which will make our kitten-based upgrades more powerful on the next playthrough. And it'll do it a lot earlier. Like we've had to build up to the orange-colored milk right now that we're on through this Ascension. But in the next Ascension, we're going to start at orange milk right out the gate. And that should make a decent difference for us, because that is quite a few tiers or levels for that particular aspect to the game's bonus system that we have gained. So I'm curious to see how that goes for us. But I wanted to see about, like, if I could get 4 more fractal engines, that'd be pretty cool. Is there anything we can 10 stack? Kind of. Like if I can get 100 portals, I guess that's fine. So we'll let the golden cookie run out. We'll probably have close to the 5.894. We'll get the 100 portals, so we get that achievement. Then we'll do our legacy with 1,860 levels for the first ascendancy. I played over. You realistically only need like 300 or 400 legacy levels in order to do the first ascendancy and buy everything. We'll point it out and we'll calculate it all in the next like couple minutes for you, okay? No worries, but we got that achievement. Cool. We're basically ready to go. You just click on Legacy when you're ready to ascend. We'll get 1860 prestige levels. Hit ascend. Let's do it. Your cookie explodes. You get an achievement. Cool. Because we ascended for the first time. Let's get Legacy. It's the first one. Unlocks the rest. You have to. We forfeit all the cookies that we had in the bank. We get 1860 chips. We also forfeit all of our buildings. So 1, we'll get the starter upgrade, get heavenly cookies next, get heavenly, or how to bake your dragon, all the boxes, you want all those, you want heralds, that's 200 for that, those 2 wheels. You get the cursor upgrade right there. You get heavenly luck. You get persistent memory and permanent upgrade slot. You get permanent upgrade slot first, though. More important. Put in your highest tier fingers. That's how I've always played, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get season switcher since I have over 1,000. That's the first really expensive one you should try to go for. If you have some points left over, after getting everything but season switcher, then I'd look at twin gates of transcendence and those 2 lines. Those give you passive when you close the game. So we're going to get these up to 2 tiers, all of that unlocked, easy peasy. We'll get the dairy because we have some left over. We'll get the wallpaper because we have some left over. We need 20,000, we need a few hundred there, we need a few thousand there. So we have a little ways to go before we can unlock everything. We only need 500 for the little science one, the persistent memory, I believe. But yeah, that's what the tree looks like. So we get Legacy, How to Bake Your Dragon, Permanent Upgrade Slot 1. With your highest tier finger upgrade, you get Heavenly Luck, Heralds, you get Heavenly Cookies, then you get all of the box of biscuits, and you get Starter Kit. It's roughly 5 to 600 Legacy levels. So if you get 5 to 600 Legacy levels when you ascend the first time, you should be able to get everything. You can cut out all the Twin Gates of Transcendence. I got up through Archangels. On that, all the milk and wallpaper stuff's just cosmetic, doesn't matter, so you can skip that for sure. Season Switcher is a good upgrade to get. I would get that early if you can afford it, just because switching the season allows you to get a lot of achievements. It unlocks additional bonuses. It unlocks the Santa, which is pretty powerful and scales decent mid to late game. But Cookie Crumbs is our first prestige-based thing. The stand right here gives us 25% of our prestige level. So you have to pay cookies in order to do your prestige level bonus. So we get a 1,860% bonus on our cookies per second on all the building production and all bonuses, as I understand it. It's based off your prestige level or your legacy level, whatever. Same thing. Whatever that total number is, you get a bonus for that. You have to unlock it. It costs cookies to do it. So the second Ascension, which is what we're in now, we just finished doing the first Ascension. If you enjoyed that content and want to see more guides kind of explaining these types of aspects of this game, Cookie Clicker on Steam, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified for the next episode. But yeah, we're just going to go through and buy some buildings, get our cookie per second up. The early game is pretty good on the second Ascension. It goes decently fast. You can buy things and get to the next milestone reasonably quickly. I could use the auto buy function of the Frozen Cookie mod, but I feel like that is a little bit weird because it's waiting for upgrades that we're not going to unlock very quickly because we're not producing that much cookie per second yet. I could be wrong. That might change. We'll see. But anyway, I'm just going to progress through the buildings. We'll probably get up to a factory here in a minute. Once we get the next tier of our prestige bonus, so that upgrade there, the one with the blue, the little cookie stand looking thing, I forget what it's called. When we buy it, I'll tell you. I want to buy these buildings real quick. Sorry, guys. Trying to min-max our production for you. Show you how I go through and start the second run through now that we have the bonus to think in mind. Because the sooner you get 100% of your prestige unlocked, the better for you. Because you will be earning so much more base production on everything, even from when it doesn't produce that much. So depending on how much prestige you bank for your Ascension, you might be looking at like a 3 or 4x scale from what your cookie per second was the last, like when you ascended, just based off of prestige. As you can see there, we got the upgrade for 75%. We'll get to 100% pretty soon. Frozen Cookies is on. These are my settings for this. I am going to turn on the Dragon upgrade just so it can go through and do that when appropriate. Not a big deal. Pretty easy. The mod, I like this mod. It makes it pretty easy because it does all the clicking for you for the most part. Like, you can manually do it, and I do enjoy manually controlling when I buy specific buildings or what I prioritize, but having it for Golden Cookie and just clicking the big cookie in general is a great assist. Getting the milk bonus I feel is going to be useful to us. We have a decent number of achievements that should stack a decent cookie per second bonus. Getting the temple was useful. We're buying decent amount of stuff because our cookie per second is going up a lot. This is the other aspect of frozen cookies. You can set it to buy buildings for you automatically. I'm going to just turn down the auto. Well, it's doing okay. It's kind of laggy. I'm still trying to figure out the optimal settings for frozen cookies on Steam. Just because there are quite a few of them to sift through, more or less. And it's, I don't know, not a big deal. But we got another cursor upgrade. That's pretty strong for us. Well, granted, we haven't bought any cursors. Lol. Yeah, there you go. Buy those. Okay, anyway. We're doing 150 million a second. That's not terrible. I mean, granted, we were up at quadrillions, so we have a ways to go. And I'm not going to bore you with all of that, because if you've played before, or if you've been following the series and played along and are at about the same point as me, you probably understand how to buy what buildings. If you're playing with frozen cookies, just let it do its thing. Eventually it'll buy all the buildings you need, and you'll get there in reasonably quickly. It won't take that much effort. I did want to look and kind of wait. There we go. Wholesome. That one right there. That unlocked 100% of our prestige. And if you noticed, it was worth a decent chunk in cookie per second for us, which is quite good for us. I think buying these Wizard Tower shipments is smart. I don't know why the auto purchase is buying all these inexpensive buildings that don't give us a whole lot, but that's what it is prioritizing for whatever reason. I did turn down my auto clicker from 1,000 to 100. Auto bulk buy to 10. Okay, that should be fine. Try that. See how it does. Like on the upgrades, it's sometimes worth it to buy those yourself. Even like because either they'll be really cheap, or it'll be like, oh well, I could get an upgrade instead of something else. Well, we just sacrifice grandma's to the dragon. In addition to giving it cookies, you also have to sacrifice buildings to upgrade it. The first time through, sacrificing the buildings, because you do ultimately have to sacrifice like 100 or 200 of the building one time in order to fully upgrade the dragon. But the first time you do the 100 sacrifice for the buildings, or for the dragon of each building type, you get a new modifier that you can slot into the dragon. Every time you change what is slotted in the dragon, it costs you one of the most expensive building you own. So generally, that will be the last building in your list. Anyway, as we sacrifice more building, so it is worth sacrificing. Totally worth doing that. That's why I did it. We could afford to buy back the grandmas, just like with the farms right there. Could afford to buy them back. Not a big deal. If you look there, it explains the aura for selling the mines is the sell aura. So every time you sell it, you get more back, which is pretty good. Like if you're about to ascend or something and you're trying to round out a stack, so you're going to sell other buildings to do that, you can just go in and, you'll end up getting a lot more out of your cells. I'm going to turn this auto bulk buy to 100 and see if it helps on the building purchasing, because it seems to be taking a decent amount of time and I'm not 100% sure why. So it costs a couple trillion to set the season. part of me is wanting to do Christmas first just to get the Santa unlocked. You get quite a large chunk of cookie per second percentage bonus modifier out of upgrading that and getting all of the cookies that are associated with the Christmas season. So I think we might start there. I also want to see if this mod is capable of clicking the reindeer for me, or if I have to do that. It'll be good. No worries. Either way. Well, we could do Easter, though. Or, well, Easter is good on a cookie storm. That's a cool option. Because getting all the eggs it takes so long in the Easter season without that. Or just in general. I don't know what I did to the text to turn that down. Or, like, turn off the box and change it. Maybe it's because we haven't... maybe we haven't clicked a golden cookie yet, so it doesn't have all the stats on it yet, and it changes display when you get a golden cookie. Anyway, guys, we covered how to do the first legacy level, or the first ascension. So this is the updated cookie clicker version 2.048 Ascension guide by Lone Debater 7. We also showed how to start out the early game of what buildings to buy, what upgrades to get. We discussed what you get for doing an Ascension, all of those good things, in addition to just giving you a guide. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like it down below. Drop a comment with any questions or concerns, and subscribe to the channel. But here we go. Christmas season. Woo woo. We're going to go ahead and upgrade the Santa. It is just sacrificing cookies early on. And we could save up the 9 trillion and sacrifice it here to upgrade the Santa again. I think it is better to wait until our cookie per second goes up. Or once we get a golden cookie, we'll get 9 trillion in no time. But anyway, guys. No worries. We'll get there when we get there. I'm kind of looking forward to letting the mod play through and kind of pick the buildings for me, because it'll definitely be different than how I would have bought them. So I'm curious to see how it goes and if it works out for us long term. So that's part of this series too. I wanted to show off some of the Steam Workshop capabilities that go along with playing the game via the Steam platform as opposed to in browser. But yeah, that's the main difference between this series and the other series that I have on my channel. That and the version I'm playing now is up to date. It is the most current version of Cookie Clickers, so there are new buildings, upgrades, all those good things. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to call it here for today. Like I've said already, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the episode. Want to see more? Hit the bell. That way you get notified when I upload more. Generally, I try to do something once a week, if not a little bit more frequently. So yeah, be sure to subscribe if you want more content. Also, like the video, drop a comment. This has been Lone Debater 7, and until next time, we will see ya.